A 61-year-old teacher in Texas has been accused of fondling a 7-year-old student, a female student of hers. And after she was accused of doing so, she said, "There's no way I fondled that girl because I'm racist and she's black."
Oh, okay, well, that's a unique defense. I wouldn't have expected that to happen.
So the detective who is handling this case said that she doesn't even like to touch black children on their head. She shies away from them when they try to hug her. She admitted to being prejudiced. And also a direct quote from Esther Irene Stokes is, "I'm not a pedophile, I'm a racist."
Well, okay, terrific. Let's review this. She is a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, God bless.
Yeah.
And she's got black students. So, well, you know, the judicial case will work itself out in terms of, you know, whether she's a pedophile and is going to serve prison time for that. The case of whether she should continue to be hired seems to be resolved.
Right. Now, she's already been fired, so, you know, thankfully she won't be employed by that school. Like, I'm hoping that she goes through a fair trial and they figure out what really happened. But the 7-year-old girl went home one day and told her mom, you know, the teacher told everyone to leave the classroom, and then she touched my private part outside of my clothing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why a 7-year-old little girl would lie about something like that. But, you know, hopefully she stands a fair trial and we figure out what really happens. But that defense is the most ridiculous defense I've ever heard of in my entire life. Just because you're racist doesn't mean that's going to stop you from sexually assaulting someone.
Yeah, I
right?
believe that slave owners were quite racist and sexually assaulted black women for quite a long period of time. That would be a horrible defense. And by the way, in recent times, Strom Thurmond, so racist, he ran for president on the segregationist ticket. And then we found out right after he died, had a black child. So, turns out racist, not really, you know, adverse to necessarily having sexual contact with blacks.
What is wrong with people also? Like the sexual assault and molestation of children. I mean, it's like it runs rampant. Like, how many times are we going to cover stories like this? And the stories get even more bizarre. Like a 61-year-old elementary school teacher, like, touching a 7-year-old girl. It just doesn't make it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, you're right. It gets crazier every single day.
And
I mean, there were this, like, when the women started sleeping with the boys, that was like not what you're used to in the beginning. In the old days, old school was obviously male teachers with young girls and stuff. And then they started sleeping with each other. You remember the lesbian stories we did? And then they started sleeping with the students. And now it's gone to extremes. 61-year-old woman, 7-year-old girl.
I think that the one good thing is, you know, when you cover these stories, you show that there are sexual predators among women as well. I think that there was always this huge misconception that it was mostly men. It's always the sexual deviants, they're the guys, and we need to look out for them. No, it could happen with female teachers as well. And I think that they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent, just like guys are.
Just real quick, we need people like her to be armed with guns to keep our kids safe. just for the record.
Right. No.
By the way, Anna, welcome back. And Ricky and John are dicks for booing you.
Thank you.
For the record.
I agree. Also, special thanks to Moises Dominguez for sending us that story.